We say in the Hagadah, B'chol v'dor v'dor chayev adam liras es atzma ki'ilu yatzim mitzrayim. The end of the Hagadah, just before we start the Halav, is B'chol dor v'dor chayev adam liras atzma ki'ilu yatzim mitzrayim. You have to see yourself as if you went out of Mitzrayim. But then we continue and we contradict ourselves. Because we bring the pasuk, that we say that Marte la b'chozek that b'avur ze asa Hashem li b'tzesim Mitzrayim. Okay, and then we say shelo es avuseinu bilvad goal ela gam osanu goal shenemar sheosi goal miMitzrayim. The son who is in Mitzrayim, the man avio sanu el haaretz hazos. The second part of the paragraph says that not ki'ilu yatzav Mitzrayim, but shelo es avuseinu bilvad goal elo sanu. Mamish were nigal. So how do you start saying you should see yourself ki'ilu nigal Mitzrayim? Right? You should say nigal. Is it ki'ilu? Is it a make-believe? Is it as if? Or is it real? Contradiction can be first part of the paragraph and second end of the paragraph. And I saw there's a Ritva who talks about it a little bit, but I didn't find that he mamish gives an answer, explains it. And in the Hagadah of the Maisa Nisim also points it out a little bit, but not really, but it's a mamish akasha. It's a question, what was pshat? So I think that you can be medayik in the lashon of the Hagadah, because he says that shelo osam bilvad goal Hashem elagam osanu. In this sentence, it doesn't say goal osanu miMitzrayim. It says goal osanu. Then the pasuk afterwards continues. We'll have to explain. But there's a difference. In every generation, we have to show ourselves. We have to see ourselves. Ki'ilu yatzanu miMitzrayim. Why? Because the Geulas Mitzrayim was a Geulah for us as well. Not miMitzrayim. miMitzrayim, we weren't there. We have to see ourselves as if we are in Mitzrayim. But we weren't there. That's ki'ilu. But the reason I have to do the ki'ilu is because I really have a geulah from there. Why? Because the pasuk that we bring is that Yeshua says to the people that the goal osanu, there he seems to say, goal osanu miMitzrayim, it took us out of Mitzrayim. But the raya is from the end of the pasuk. Leman havi osanu el haaretz hazos, in order to bring us to Eretz Yisrael. Meaning that the geulah for Mitzrayim was not just to get us out of slavery. The Geulah in Mitzrayim was a Geulah that has a hemshech, that has a purpose, that continues in the present and in the future. And that's the depth of what we have to recognize at the end of the Seder Shel Pesach. Because what we gained from a Yitzias Mitzrayim, it was something that changed the world. Because the whole concept of a free spirit, the concept that each person can have a spirit to be freed from bondage, a spirit that speaks of having dreams and having goals and ideals. That's something that was invented by Yetzias Mitzrayim. Until that time, it didn't exist. Until that time, wherever you are, that's where you are. If you're a slave, you're a slave. And if you're not a slave, unless you're a king, if you're a king, you can do whatever you want. And if you're not a king, right, you're stuck. Comes Yetzias Mitzrayim and says, no, you're a human being. You are a person who has a connection with God. You can get above and beyond your mitzvot. And that's why it's osanu. We have to seek, either we went out of Mitzrayim, because our redemption today, our freedom today, our ability to have a free spirit today is directly a result of what there was in Yetzias Mitzrayim. In the darkest of times, Klal Yisrael was able to stand and say the Hagadah, because the Hagadah says you're not stuck. They can do whatever they want to our bodies, but they cannot enslave our soul. And that kayach, to be a free spirit, to be a person who has the ability to soar above any difficulties, that comes from Yetzias Mitzrayim. And that's what we're celebrating with Leil HaSeder. And that's the message, perhaps. And that's why the Rambam perhaps has a girsa, Chayiv Adam Laharos Atzmo Kili Atzim Mitzrayim. And the Mefarshim later in Rishonim say, no, not Laharos, it's not a show, it's Liros, to see. The Rambam also understands it's to see. But the Rambam is saying, you have to show it because it all lies there in Yetzias Mitzrayim. That's what Yetzias Mitzrayim is all about. And that's what we as an Am Yisrael, as Kahal Yisrael, the nation who stands for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, through the generations, Arayom, we stand as the people who show we have a special relationship with Hashem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us nisim. Arayom, this morning there was a pigua that Bechazde Hashem was stopped. And certainly what happened a week ago, Motzei Shabbos. We, Klal Yisrael, show the world nothing can interfere between the Spirit and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the Goyim can also learn from that. If the Goyim learn from us, that's what our job is. That there's something beyond the here and the now, is the fact that there is the Cherut Olam. Cherut Olam is this free spirit, the spirit that can soar free beyond everything in our connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to be able to accomplish in our lives. Each person, each individual, and that's our lesson to our children. And if we're zocher in that, then be'emet lefikach anu chayavim le'odos, and we have a lot to be thankful for, a lot to be able to say to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we really understand how everything comes from what you did for us in Yetzias Mitzrayim.